When we think of Rome, we imagine legions marching in perfect formation and emperors draped in purple. But the true backbone of the Roman world wasn't just the gladius, it was the sestertius. How did a small city-state on the Tiber build the world's first global economic superpower? How did a single currency become legal tender from the rainy hills of Britain to the scorching deserts of Egypt? Today, we are opening the treasury of the Caesars to see how money built an empire and how its mismanagement ultimately brought it all crashing down. In its early centuries, Rome didn't earn its wealth in the traditional sense. It took it. This was an economy of plunder. Every new province meant mountains of looted gold, silver, and, most importantly, millions of enslaved people who provided the cheap labor. But, as the borders stopped expanding, the loot dried up. Rome had to pivot to a more sustainable model: taxation. The Romans were masters of bureaucracy. They implemented the tributum, a property tax, and various indirect taxes on everything. There was even the famous urine tax under Emperor Vespasian, who used the ammonia from public toilets for industrial tanning. When his son Titus complained about the smell, Vespasian famously held a gold coin to his nose and replied, "Pecunia non olet," money does not smell. To keep trade moving across 3 continents, Rome created a sophisticated 3-tier currency system. At the top was the aureus, a heavy gold coin used by the elite and for international trade. Then came the denarius, the workhorse of the empire. A single denarius was roughly the daily wage for a skilled laborer or a legionary. For everyday small purchases like a loaf of bread or a cup of wine, Romans used the bronze sestertius or the copper as. For centuries, this system worked because the coins were honest. A silver denarius was valuable because it was actually made of 95% pure silver. Walk through the Roman Forum, and you wouldn't just hear political speeches, you'd hear the clinking of coins. The argentari, or professional bankers, operated stalls right in the heart of the city. Rome developed a financial system that looked surprisingly modern. They had savings accounts, complex mortgages, and a system of credit. A merchant didn't need to carry a heavy chest of gold to buy grain. He could carry a letter of credit, a paper promise. This fluidity of capital allowed the Roman economy to reach a level of complexity that surpassed anything in the ancient world. Where did all that tax money go? The Roman budget had 3 massive black holes. First, the military. Nearly 70% of the entire state budget went to paying, feeding, and equipping the legions. Second, the annona. This was the grain dole, a massive social welfare program that provided free bread to hundreds of thousands. Third, infrastructure. The roads, the massive aqueducts, and the Colosseum were essential for trade and imperial propaganda. The beginning of the end started with a trick. The empire faced a perfect storm: civil wars, plagues, and barbarian invasions. The solution: currency debasement. Emperors began clipping the silver content of the denarius. By the year 270, it was just a bronze coin washed in a thin layer of silver, barely 0.5% pure. The result was catastrophic hyperinflation. Prices for basic goods skyrocketed. Merchants stopped accepting the fake imperial coins. Wealthy citizens fled the cities for self-sufficient country estates, effectively beginning the transition toward feudalism. By the time the Goths and Vandals arrived at the gates, Rome was already bankrupt. Its fall was a financial collapse centuries in the making. Our modern banking terms, our tax structures, and even the word money, named after the temple of Juno Monate, are all Roman. When the trust in the currency died, the empire followed. Thank you for watching.